Is it true guys don't want to chase anymore? I heard a bunch of my guy friends say this. I also heard guys say they don't want to be perceived as creeps, either.
Mostly don't want to be perceived as a creep or weird, don't mind the work as long as it's not feeling like I'm pushing.
I don't remember a time that guys ever wanted to chase women. More like we had to because there was no other choice.
Absolutely tired of it. I've been single for 4 years now, just stop trying.
I've never chased anyone, and I never will. It's not worth the effort.
We never have wanted to chase.
Whoever told you in the first place that guys like to chase was an idiot.
Not worth the effort, to be honest. Why put in so much work if the other person isn't doing the same?
When a girl makes me chase, I leave. I can't read your mind. If you are not interested, I'm a creep. I can't tell if you don't tell me.
People stop chasing after some point. It's a part of personal growth.
I can't talk for other men, but I get no enjoyment from pursuing said. There's pursuing and pursuing. If it's a playful thing where we both know we're into each other and we both want this to progress into a relationship, then yeah, it's just a nice and potentially sexy roleplay. If it's about convincing the woman she should choose me over someone else, then it. I don't have any time to waste with someone who's not sure she wants to be with me and where I need to do the convincing.
Any guy who's dated for a bit definitely doesn't want to chase.
Guys don't chase after women anymore because they don't want to get labeled as creeps, stalkers and so on. As for me, I have not really found anyone worth the effort. So many, both male and female, seem to think that they are just it. My ex thought she was that, but all she is just a narcissistic, lying thief. It is just not worth the hassle only to find out they are not who they pretend to be.
Never in the history of men has any man enjoyed the chase. I haven't minded chasing a certain wonderful person in my life. Took 6 months to get any time of day. But the chase was absolutely not enjoyable. It was worth it, but we both regret it taking so long.
Purity culture and conservative upbringing.
The chase, to me, sounds like carrying every conversation, dealing with flaky dating prospects, rampant miscommunication. No thanks. It's 2023, both people should be putting in effort.
Some guys like it, most do not though.
I have not chased in a great many years. It may just be a younger man's game. In any case, the world changed, so I just got tired of it. Anyway, I've always lived by the rule, hard to get equals hard to want.
Exactly. We don't want a hostage to induce Stockholm Syndrome into, we want a friend. Or a little more than a friend, but you get the point. Cheeky smiley face.
I am not going to put on a production and invest a lot of energy for a girl who either 1, I do not know well enough to know whether we're a good fit, or 2, is not roughly as into me as much as I am not going to convince a girl to like me.
Most men never wanted to chase. The ones who enjoy it are usually toxic as truth. Most guys want to be the one to be approached. If it's a mutual game, it's one thing. If it's not, call the cops.
From what I've noticed, a lot of straight men have sworn have dating and women altogether and have just been focusing on themselves, which is an interesting trend.
These days there's much more talk of consent, harassment, and chasing being unacceptable. So guys are more likely to not persist if you don't act interested immediately.
What this guy said, this is never like the chase. I don't mind a little playful banter where we both know where it is actually chasing. No thanks. Either make it obvious that this is heading somewhere and there are clear signs, or reciprocal effort and interest, or IMR. Way too many fish in the sea and I have things to do and get done. I don't have time for childish. The point that Sad Hat 7644 made. This day and age with harassment and such, there is no way that I would pursue. As he said, it is perceived that a guy who pursues a girl that is not interested, he is suddenly a creep. There are certainly legit creeps and real sexual harassment happening out there, so don't get it twisted, but I am not a mind reader and I have no desire to risk my reputation by chasing a girl that has not made it blatantly clear that she is also is a hard have to be. Careful around women, we are easily villainized.
I'm 28. At no point in my life have I ever enjoyed the chase.
It's already been stated in 50+ comments and probably hundreds more, so I'll just say I love that this dumb trope of chasing women are playing hard to get is finally being called out for the it is. I don't think that way of approaching is good for men or women. It teaches men that they should not take no for hard feelings towards you. I saw that you mentioned your upbringing made you believe this. Good on you for asking the question. I also was raised as a man that persistence is flattering and quickly learned that's not true. Some friends I have did not learn that lesson and it's hard to watch them trying to date with that mindset.
I said no to the guy 3 times, so he understood it as no, and he went on to date someone else. Why? I don't understand.
I think chasing was the social norm, the expectation. If you don't know if any men ever wanted to do, we're moving past outdated dating concepts.
If the potential employer strung you along for a while, led you on, made you continue to jump through hoops, and was mentioning the other candidates in a way that made you feel like you weren't going to be special to that employer, I wouldn't work at that place. Probably wouldn't even spend my money there after having that experience.
Key word here is they do it. I don't think they'd prefer to though. But hey, you like something, you're gonna go up to her and let it be known. The employer will never tell me they are not ready to hire yet, or they didn't feel if I get the job, I get paid for my services. If I enter a relationship, I have no guarantee of getting anything back. With a job, I can't get fired for no reason. I don't live in the US, you guys are crazy when it comes to jobs, and I'll get a package, unless I'm at fault. Simply cannot compare a relationship with a job.
Are you sure about that? There are already cases and stories of people feeling genuine connection to chats. If we get to the point where physical connection could be properly simulated, all bets are off. Remember, we humans are also just animals. Our reptilian brains can be easily suade with just the right stimulus and manipulation. Should we get to the point where just real enough can satisfy whatever we long for, so what if it isn't really real?
Mental illness.
Because those men aren't okay in the head. The same reason anyone would stalk anyone else.
Even then you can get in trouble. I've asked out women whom I thought we had made a connection and got in trouble for it. Remember, women can flirt and be friendly all they want and it might not mean anything. A man can't do the same.
Carrot, absolutely this. I definitely don't want to offend anyone or make someone feel uncomfortable. As a result, I don't make many advances towards women unless it is enthusiastically accepted. As a result, I rarely approach also a lot of effort to chase someone for them to just reject you anyways. So why bother? It sucks, but there isn't a great alternative.
How about saying yes when he asks? Don't play hard to get. Don't play games. And if you're not interested, just say no. Don't call HR and get him fired or ruin his reputation.
Pursuing implies a one-way street. Rather than interviewing for a job, it implies you are cold calling random employees and telling them all about your many qualifications. Will you get through to someone with hiring power? Who knows? Who enjoys that kind of a situation? A relationship is not a status symbol. I want someone who wants me because they like me, not because they like the ego boost of being chased.
I show interest. Maybe you initiate a date-like thing. If you are at a bar chatting and enjoying the vibe, maybe you offer to buy them a drink. Tell them you like them and are attracted to them. Literally anything and everything you think are the cultural norms for men courting women. You can imitate yourself as a woman. How would you like to be approached by a man you are interested in? Because whatever your answers are, most likely men would like that and respond to it as well. We are all human and all respond to positive interactions similarly. Also, as a woman, you do have something you can do that most men, who are not creeps, will not do. Initiating physical contact for the first time. Touch a hand. Grab a shoulder. Tug playfully at the bottom of their shirt. Many are so worried about not being a creep while also being ignorant to flirting at the same time. Most dudes are not so dense that they cannot pick up on the hints that come with a woman making physical contact with them. I will admit dancing is a gray area for me. Had a few times where chicks at my local dive bar, who I was interested in, force me into dancing with them after I explain for some reason that I don't know how to dance. That has actually never been them flirting with me, except one. But I was in a relationship and I was broken up with less than 2 weeks later. Haven't run into this woman again, even though we used to overlap a lot. Really wish I got her number. Just friendly dancing apparently. Really embarrassed myself when I tried to overtly hit on them. Can you see some of the fun that is trying to navigate flirting? And as a guy, we don't want to be creeps but are also looking at and trying to interpret most interactions in the context of, is she flirting with me? Is it appropriate to respond in turn? Or is she just open and friendly? In this day and age, I feel like a majority of men are looking for and hoping that the woman will make the first move. Because I know, at least for myself, the last thing I want to do is to make a woman feel uncomfortable to be around me. I always like having more friends, and being labeled a creep because you thought a woman wanted you to chase her can ruin a friendship that never happened. On behalf of most cool but social awkward guys, it will work out better for you if you make some moves as well, because many of us will play it safe for an interest in your personal comfort. I would rather you have a good, not creepy night over me trying to get laid.